दुनिया की रक्षा, दुनिया की रक्षा हरने वाली माँ, रोशन कहे तेरा नाम। ओ माता तेरे शरण आए, देखो हे अम्बे माता। ओ माता तेरे शरण आए, देखो हे अम्बे माता। चारों दिशा से भक्ति आशा से भक्तों की पीराई, हो माता तेरे शरण आए, देखो हे अम्बे माता। हो माता तेरे शरण आए, देखो हे अम्बे माता। हो माता तेरे शरण आए, देखो हे अम्बे माता।
गुरु की बात को मानो, सिखाया आज जो तुमको, सिखाया आज जो तुमको। चलो तुम चाली वैसी ही, बतावे जो गुरु तुमको, बतावे जो गुरु तुमको। गुरु की बात को मानो। दूजा उपदेश जो गुरु ने, जला को तीन तापो पाप। दूजा उपदेश जो गुरु ने, जला को तीन तापो पाप। निर्मल मन स्वभाव कर दो, तमिश्रा भारी क्लेश हरो। सिखाया आज जो तुमको, सिखाया आज जो तुमको। गुरु की बात को मानो। पढ़ो विद्या लगा कर मन, के हो वे वीर विज्ञानी। पढ़ो विद्या लगा कर मन, के हो वे वीर विज्ञानी। तरु तज अपने नित अवगुण, उनके गुण पास अपनाए। सिखाया आज जो तुमको, सिखाया आज जो तुमको। गुरु की बात को मानो। उठोनित काल उषा में, लगाओ मन प्रभु में तुम। उठोनित काल उषा में, लगाओ मन प्रभु में तुम। मिलेगा इष्ट करने पर, गुरु चरण शरण को
Sitaram, we'd like to wholeheartedly welcome you to Ganipak's third night of 7 nights Devi Yagya. Our Bedi Puja has been completed by Paramacharya himself, Pandit Hardev Prasad, who will now conduct tonight's discourse. Sitaram.
बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय. Devotees, blessings to all of you who have joined us in person and those who have joined us online on IETV. Blessings to all of you, and I express this hope, this wish that the sacrifice that you are making would bear fruits. You develop devotion so that this divine aspect, Mother, Mata, whichever aspect you choose to worship. Without that energy, as we keep saying, not even a blade of grass can move. So we are here to worship that Mata, special period of time, Navratra. And just to point out, the Devi Bhagavat has told us that these two main Navratam that we have, actually there are 4 Navratam every year. 2 we call Gupta Navratam, and the 2 that we know. Gupta means secret. So based upon calculations, we are advised as to when that is. Those who have already gone for the year. This is the final Navratam for the year. Now what the Devi Bhagavat says is that the 2 Navratra, the main ones as we call them, they are like the 2 teeth of the god of death. We have to understand what this means. That these 2 periods in time, with different changes in weather and so on, different conditions, it is very, very challenging. Anything could happen. And the sages in the infinite mercy, consideration, love for us, they have advised that these 2 periods in time in particular, we try to fast and pray and build a different energy, a different vibration, so that we could be unaffected by how many negativities that surround us. And if we analyze today, in today's world, a lot of negativities surround us. A lot of disappointments. Different attitudes exist. Spirituality is like it's going down the drain. We need to survive. And it is said through the worship of Mata, we are protected. As a matter of fact, tonight's discourse will be based upon a situation where those conditions did exist, and how through the infinite mercy of Mataji, Devi, mankind was allowed, he survived through the blessings and compassion of Devi. No man could survive without Devi, meaning that energy. So devotees, to observe Navratra, in addition to protecting ourselves like this, the Shiv Samhita tells us, Naimitik Karam, these special occasions, by celebrating, by observing, by making sacrifices, great merits, blessings come to us. I've made mention many times that there is Nitya Karma, daily duty. We have a debt to offer to God, to the rishis, to the sages, to the ancestors, society, and the lower forms of creation. And these debts we need to repay on a daily basis. And Lord Shiva specified, he emphasized that performing these daily duties, one does not get blessings. So, for those of us who believe that we're in a good place, by just doing the basic action on a daily basis, sometimes not so daily, offer jal, light a diya, and you think you're there, I have news for you. These daily duties we carry out like debts that we owe, and we have to repay. So I use a simple analogy. You take a mortgage from the bank, those of you who want to take mortgage. You pay back, you're supposed to pay back. Nobody pats you in the back and praise you. You're supposed to pay back. And if you don't, then there is penalty. So this is important to understand, devotees, because too many of us are, in this comfort zone. Well, once a week, sometimes we pray over Jalaning. Even if it's every day, this basic, this you're supposed to do it. You're repaying your debts of gratitude. Failure to do it, sins of omission. You incur sin. So, don't tell me that, you live in a good life. That is good. But the scriptures say you need to repay this debt of gratitude to the Lord. And Hinduism has given us, all religions have given certain practices to carry out. This is to help us to repay our debt. You do not get blessings for that when you do them, these actions. Failure to do these actions, you incur sin, sins of omission. So how do I get blessings? Naimitik karam, like what we are doing now. These special occasions. When people celebrate, they observe, they make sacrifices, blessings come. You don't do it, you incur sin. Simple. So this is how we get blessings. And there's kamya karma, when people choose, like on a yearly basis, whenever, to do their own pujas, katha, jandi, so on, Durga puja. Kamya karma, you get blessings for that also. You don't do it, you incur sin. Sins of omission. So devotees, there's another reason why these occasions are so very, very special. With the passing of time, I think, we have shifted that focus a little bit, Other things occupy the mind, not realizing that I can be incurring sin. Now, I'm not saying that you have to come to the temple to worship. You can worship home. But it's good to come to the temple. Collectively, we can build a vibration. But if you don't do anything at all, then what are you doing? And when sins of omission accumulate, and we begin to suffer the consequences, but then you hear the old talk. Obia. Somebody do you something. Always somebody else is never, I don't take responsibility. So devotees, I want to emphasize this. And many times, I've been asked, well, Pandit, how come you're alone saying that? They don't hear any other Pandit saying that. If you like to do every day, you won't get blessings. I'm telling you what Shiva, Bhagwan Shankar said in Shiv Samhita, and I've given you a rationale for it. We owe these debts. If I don't pay back, I incur sin. If I pay back, no merits, I'm supposed to pay back. Okay? So people need to analyze your lives. These small things in life mean so much. It depends upon what we do. Don't take things for granted. Man lifts himself by himself. Man sinks himself by himself. Our choice, what we make in life. So, yes, you pray every day. We had Pitrapaksh. People say dead people time. None of dead people time. The soul doesn't die. It is to remind us of the debts that we owe to the ancestors. But every day we need to do that. So let me put it in perspective, devotees. Every day we need to pray in some form. Every day we need to read a scripture. Rishi Yagya. And I've said over and over again ad nauseum, that is where the majority of people fall down. Do you read? Everybody bend their head. No, we don't read. We'll watch TV, we'll do everything. That's your right. But what I'm saying to you, you can benefit so much more also by reading 5 minutes, 10 minutes, any scripture you choose. This is Rishi Yagya. Paying back your debt to the Rishis. The ancestors have given to us practices, principles, these wonderful value systems. Maintaining them on a daily basis is Pitra Yagya. Not putting pinda all about it. Maintaining these principles on a daily basis is Pitra Yagya. So we have to live the life on a daily basis. Not only when it's Navratam or whatever, we try to do everything and when that is finished, back to square one. No, no, no. Every day. And I'm pointing out to you where we fall short and why things happen when we fall short. Society, we must do our good to society every day without expectation of rewards. And devotees, taking care of pets and so on, Bhuti Yagya. That's good to do. These are the 5 debts we owe, which we need to repay on a daily basis. Failure to perform these karmas result in sins of omission. So it's up to us. The Shankaracharya, our Shankaracharya, he used 2 terms, 2 words to express our attitudes at times. What are they? Laziness and stupidity. We are very lazy. And stupidity, well, this murkhasya aushadhi nasti. There is no cure for stupidity. We fool ourselves into believing that we are okay. Now I know many make the right sacrifices and so on, and I'm saying this should be like what your life is supposed to be on a daily basis. Okay, devotees? So special time like now is to acquire merits, plenty merits. So we are very fortunate to be here to worship. We are performing Naimitic Karam, from which great blessings come. So devotees, having said that, tonight let's begin, and let me, by means of invocation, simple kirtan to glorify the Panchadevata. So join me, and then we'll get into our katha. The Panchadevata, Gajanan Swami, Devi, Bhagwan Shankar, Bhagwan Sri Satyanarayan, Suruj Narayan. Why these 5 devotees? There are 5 forms of divinity, yes. Those of you here on Monday would have heard Pandit Umesh mention these things are personification of certain principles. Gajanan Swami, wisdom. Devi, Ichha Shakti. Mumukshutva, that intense yearning to be in oneness with the divine. Shiva, Bhagwan Shankar Bholinath, Vairagya, dispassion. Bhagwan Sri Satyanarayan, Sattvic Prakriti. Sattva, not Rajas, not Tamas. And Suruj Narayan, the intellect. These are 5 principles that exist in us. When we worship the Panchadevata, is to activate these energies within us, without which life is a failure. So, from a very simple bhakti point of view, they say worship Lord Ganesh, worship Durga Ma Devi, worship Shivaji, Satyanarayan, Suruj Narayan. But as I mentioned, use the analogy of the car. Once I start my car and everything working on, good. I have to know the details of it. But sometimes it's good to know, in case they shut down somewhere, what the details are about. So the Panchadevata just chanted worship, and automatically these powers inside are activated. Hinduism doesn't do anything by guess. It's not a VAPS thing. Everything is logical, practical. Based upon stages in life, we carry out these practices. And devotees, just remember, whatever is given to us, it is for our benefit, not God. God doesn't need anything. It's for our benefit. So I make these sacrifices, I benefit. I fail to do it, who loses? Who loses? Common sense will say that I will lose. So, be proactive, everybody. So when we chant, for you to understand also what it will be a chanting. Yes, these gods and goddesses, so to speak, but they represent certain powers inside. Hey Ramba Hari. Hey Ramba is another name for Lord Ganesh. Yeah? So when I say Hey Ramba Hari, you won't hear Ganesh, you won't hear Gajanan, you will hear Hey Ramba. So many names of the Lord. Hey Ramba Hare Jai, Hey Ramba Hare. Hey Ramba Hare Jai, Hey Ramba Hare. Hey Ramba Hare Jai, Hey Ramba Hare. हे रंब हरे जय हे रंब हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय जय दुर्गा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय जय दुर्गा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय जय दुर्गा हरे, जय दुर्गा हरे जय जय देवी हरे, जय शिव हरे जय जय शिव हरे, जय शिव हरे जय जय शिव हरे, जय शिव हरे जय जय शिव हरे, जय शिव हरे शिव शंकर हरे, जय विष्णु हरे जय जय विष्णु 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 हरे, आदित्य हरे जय आदित्य हरे, आदित्य हरे जय आदित्य हरे, आदित्य हरे जय आदित्य हरे, आदित्य हरे आदित्य हरे, जय राम हरे जय जय कृष्ण 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 हरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे, 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 जय राम हरे जय जय कृष्ण हरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे, जय राम हरे जय जय कृष्ण हरे, ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे। Devotees, I want you to concentrate on Mata Devi, whichever form of Devi that pleases you best. We do stotra. This stotra is referred to as Siddha Kunjika stotra. It brings fulfillment. Many stotras would have different processes to undergo before you chant them. Nyas, Vinayog, etc. This stotra, devotee, is very, very powerful. It requires nothing. And it has the same effect. Same very powerful effect as so many other stotras. So you concentrate on Divine Mother and you pray in your hearts. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha, Sri Saraswatyai Namaha, Atsiddha Kunjika Stotam Shivavach, Shrunu Devi Pravakshyami, Kunjika Stotam Uttamam, Yena Mantra Prabhavena, Chandi Japah Shubho Bhavet. Na Kavacham, na Algala Stotram, Kilakam na Rahasyakam, न सूक्तम नापि ध्यानम च न न्यासो न च वार्चनम कुंजिका पाठ मात्रेण दुर्गा पाठ फलम लभेत अति गुह्यतरम देवी देवानामपि दुर्लभम गोपनीयम प्रयत्नेन स्वयोनिरिव पार्वती मारणं मोहनं वश्यं सम्भनोचाटनादिकं पातमात्रेण संसिद्ध्येत् कुञ्जिकास्तुतमुत्तमम् ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे ओम ग्लौं हूं क्लीं जूं सः ज्वालय ज्वालय ज्वल ज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे ज्वल हंसं लंशं फट् स्वाहा ओम नमस्ते रुद्ररूपिण्यै नमस्ते मधुमर्दिनी नमः कैटवहारिण्यै नमस्ते महिषार्दिनी नमस्ते शुंभहन्त्रै च निशुंभासुरघातिनी जाग्रतं हि महादेवी जपं सिद्धं कुरुष्व मे ऐंकारी सृष्टिरूपायै ह्रींकारी प्रतिपालिका क्लींकारी कामरूपिण्यै बीजरूपे नमोऽस्तुते चामुण्डा चन्द्रघाती च यैकारी वरदायिनी बिच्चे च भयदा नित्यं नमस्ते मंत्ररूपिणी धाम धीम धूम धूर्षटिः पत्नी वां वीं वूं वागधीश्वरी क्रां क्रीं क्रूं कालिका देवी शां शिं शुमे शुभं कुरु हुं हुं हुंकार रूपिण्यै जं 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 जंभनादिनी भ्रां भ्रीं भ्रूं भैरवी भद्रे भवान्यै ते नमो नमः अंकं चं टं टं पं यं शं वीं दूं ऐं वीं हं छं धिजाग्रम त्रोतय त्रोतय दीप्तं कुरु कुरु स्वाहा पां पीं पूं पार्वती पूर्णा खां खीं खूं खेचरी तथा सां सीं सूं सप्तशती देव्या मंत्रसिद्धिं कुरुष्व मे इदं तु कुञ्जिकास्तोत्रं मन्त्रजागर्ति हेतवे अभक्तिनैव दातव्यं गोपितं रक्ष पार्वती यस्तु कुञ्जिकया देवी हीनां सप्तशतीं पठेत् न तस्य जायते सिद्धिररण्ये रुदनं यथा इति रुद्रयामले गौरीतन्त्रे श्रीपार्वती संवादे सिद्धकुञ्जिकास्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्. Continue to concentrate, devotees. I would like to focus specially on Durgama. And there is special stute with names of Durgama. Just focus upon her. Om Ad Durga Dvatrinishannama Stutihi Durga Durgati Shamani Durga Padvi Nivarani Durga Cheduni Durga Sadhini Durga Nashini Durgato Dharani Durga Nihantri Durga Mapaha Durga Magyanada Durga Daichaluka Davanala Durgama Durgama Luka Durgam Atmaswarupini Durga Marga Prada Durgam Avidya Durga Masita Durgam Gyan Sangsthana Durgam Dhyana Bhasini Durgam Uha Durgam Maga Durgam Artha Swarupini Durgam Asura Sanghantri Durgam Ayuddha Dharini Durgamangi Durgamata Durgamya Durgam Ishwari Durga Bhima Durga Bhama Durga Bha Durga Darini Namavali Mimang Yastu Durgaya Mayamanavaha Parthet Sarva Bhayan Mukto Vavishyati Na Sanshaya Itisi Durga Dvatrishan Namala Stuti Samapta Om Hrim Shrim Chandikayai Namaha Boliye Siyar Shakti Jagadamba Mata Ki Jai. So devotees, you keep the name Durga in mind. I know it's not a name that you forget so easily, but tonight we are going to very briefly look at how she got that name. How she got that name and why that name is so powerful. But before I go into the actual discourse, devotees, it is my feeling to put to you a bit of advice from the sages. To the bhajan devotees, which I'm sure we have heard before, and this bhajan, well, of course, I've heard my father singing this many, many years ago, since small growing up. When you get a bit older, then you understand the meaning of it. Matalab ka is duniya mein, mana soch samajh kar chalna hai. There is no scarcity of opinions in this world. Like you go to the marketplace, you go to buy bhaji, plenty bhaji sellers. Everyone selling his product. Some shouting loud, some begging you, some stay very quiet, but they're all selling bhaji. And my question is, if you go to buy bhaji, whatever, what will determine what you buy? How loud the shouter, the vendor shouting, what looks nice on the surface, but inside otherwise, what would you do? The sages tell us, Manas Buddhi Ahankar Chit. We have the internal equipment, everything in life given to us. Analyze closely. Analyze closely before you make any decisions. मतलब कई से दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. Don't live by guess. To swallow everything you hear, hook, line and sinker. First thing come to your head. Because in today's world, a lot of brainwashing is taking place. A lot of negative things are projected, as we shall hear. And when that happens, what is the outcome of it? The Bhajan says, devotees, perform your puja. Adopt your guru, follow guru's instructions, guru's advice. Try to overcome the negativities of life. Pray on a daily basis. Prayer is important. मतलब का इस दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. पाप पुण्य का भेज समझ ले. इस जग से निकलना है. सोच समझ कर चलना है. All the products can be classified into two classes. Papa or punya. That which is beneficial, that which is destructive. Which one would you choose? Pap or punya? मतलब का इस दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. पाप पुण्य का भेज समझ ले. पाप पुण्य का भेज समझ ले. इस जग से निकलना है. सोच समझ कर चलना है. मतलब का इस दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. नारायण है सब गत गत में. सबके सहारा दे संकट में. नारायण है सब घट घट में. सबके सहारा दे संकट में. पूजा कर ले सद्गुर धर ले. पूजा कर ले सद्गुर धर ले. इस जग से निकलना है. सोच समझ कर चलना है. मतलब का इस दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. इसी जग में तू सुमिरन कर ले. दीप जाप का तन मन धर ले. इसी जग में तू सुमिरन कर ले. दीप जाप का तन मन धर ले. मोह माया से बच कर रहना. मोह माया से बच कर रहना. फिर पछताना है. सोच समझ कर चलना है. मतलब का इस दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. पाप पुण्य का भेज समझ ले. पाप पुण्य का भेज समझ ले. इस जग से निकरना है, सोच समझ कर चलना है, मतलब का इस दुनिया में मन सोच समझ कर चलना है. So devotees, the bhajan tells us what happens in life as we go through the corridors of life. And if we don't be proactive and do what we're supposed to do, pashtana, we're going to regret. We're going to regret. Choices are important. Make the right choices. Make some sacrifices. Give your life to that divine. Life should be like a flower in full bloom. We should give it away, petals, scent and all, to that garden who brought it into existence. The highest good we can do. So devotees, the principles are there for us to practice. And I've always maintained, I've said this before, by nature we are all divine. Aham Brahmasmi, the Mahavakya of the Vedas. I am Brahm. I am divinity. I am. What am I? I am. Pure subjectivity. Then why do I suffer? Why do I have pain? So many forms of disappointment, etc. Why? Is it that God is unjust? Deviant behavior, devotees. Deviant behavior. When my behavior is deviant, I stray away from that ideal, then I incur sin. I create my problems. And I go through all different types of processes. And the journey is to come back to this point where you are, where you started from, Aham Brahmasmi. But the question is, why do you stray from that point? The good question. You have to answer that question for yourself. But the journey for all of us is to get back to that point, because we have strayed. And any time we stray, this is the outcome. Devotees, there was a king whose name was Harishchandra. Now that is not the katha I'm going to do. Harishchandra was a great king, and if people, especially the younger ones, could, maybe sometime when we have good Devi Bhagavatam, we have enough time to do everything, we could explain these wonderful episodes. Now everything is within limit now. So we have to cut short all sides, I'm not saying it's bad, but you can't do justice to what you want to do, but so like I can't, fully explain to you the Katha of Harishchandra. He was a very righteous, virtuous person. He had his wife and one son. And devotees, when people talk about problems you have, you ain't know what to call problem. This is why you go to these kathas and you realize the challenges that we get at times. Just to culminate the devotees, this king had to sell himself into slavery. He sold his wife, he sold his son. He ended up, that great king, ended up being the curator, so to speak, if that's the right term to use, of the cremation site. Chandal, taking care of the cremation site. Anybody coming to cremate, he has to extract some taxes from them, whatever it may be. And lo and behold, one day, a woman came to cremate her son. And these two looked very, very familiar to him. Only to realize that that was his wife who had come to this cremation site with their dead son. The whole story goes on. The son was bitten by a snake. Different things happen. Testing. And here, Raja Harishchandra stood there, recognizing his wife and that dead son of his. But nobody could cremate without paying that tax. And he insisted. He never compromised, even in the face of such adversity, his principle. You have to give me tax. Nothing, give me the clothes on your body. You have to pay tax. Which one of us could do that? Last night when I mentioned Hanuman and Makradhwaj fighting, and I mentioned a point of duty, this is what you have to understand. Now emotion here, no? Most people make decisions based upon emotion. I feel something like that, and they jump to conclusions. Where you see come to tests in life, devotees, can't go that way at all. The mind cannot be clouded with emotion. Principle has to be maintained. Otherwise you fail. But devotees, think about what this king had to go through. Well, At that point in time, the divine appeared to ease his burdens. Just as the inner given you here. You can imagine what went on before. But Raja Harishchandra was a great devotee of Devi, Mata. And devotees, he worshipped Mataji, but he never compromised. They call it Sharanagati really. He never questioned, oh God, why? Nah. Oh God, I'm worshipping you so much and you're hearing me, you're deaf. Nothing like that. The attitudes that we display, many of us. We pray, and when things don't work, sometimes we don't even pray properly. We blame God. The wise ones, they keep on trying. They say, maybe I am not doing it good enough. And they keep making that effort. No question, no self-pity. Strong characters, devotees. And in life, these things happen to all of us at some point. But I don't think any one of us could ever be like Raja Harishchandra to be exposed to this. But that devotion to Devi would have given him that energy, that power, that right focus, the right intellect to live this kind of life. Ultimately, he got back his kingdom and everything. His son was brought back to life. In case people are going to go home crying on thing. His son was brought back to life. So it all's well that ends well once you do the right things in life. So devotees, Devi Bhagwat was being related to Raja Janmejai by Ved Vyas. So just remember, Raja Janmejai was the son of Raja Parikshit, who was given a shrap that snake would bite him and he would die. I can't go into details because time going by. Some other time again. Bhagavad Katha. There's a Bhagavad coming up sometime in November, October, November. Right? It will be held at Sukh Shanti, so you can join me there. You can hear a lot about that. Devotees, Janmejai wanted to take revenge on snakes. So he organized what they call a Sap Yagya, a snake sacrifice, to kill snakes. When Ved Vyas came and told him, look, revenge breeds revenge. Rather than seek revenge, do that which will liberate the soul of your father. And he asked what? Devi Yagya. And so Ved Vyas started to relate Devi Yagya to Raja Janmejai. So all this katha about, Raja Harishchandra and so on were related. These kathas were related to Janmejai, who was all heirs, as we say. Yeah? So devotees, at this point, when we reached to the point that Raja Harishchandra was restored back to his kingdom and so on, Janmejai, like his appetite was whetted, so to speak, he wanted to know. Janmejai Uvach, Vichitram idam akhyanam Harishchandrasya kirtitam Shatakshi pada bhaktasya rajarsya dharma kasyacha Shashakshi ka suto jata Devi Bhagavati Shiva Tat karanam vedamu nisarthakam janma me kuru Kohi devya gunan trishvans tripti yasyati mishuddhadhihi Pade pade ashvamedhasya phalam akshayam ashnute. Raja Janmejai is saying, O Ved Vyasji, O Holy One, foremost among sages, you mentioned that Raja Harishchandra worshipped Shatakshi Devi. Shatakshi Devi. Who is Shatakshi Devi? Now we have all have Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, and in today's world you have all kind of Devi, Parameshwari and Muneshwari and different kind of things. I want to go into all them details. Right? Who is Shatakshi? Who is Shatakshi? Hearing this katha of this great king, Param Dharmik, that supremely dharmic, righteous person, Raja Harishchandra, and how he worshipped Devi. This is great. It has motivated me, it has impacted upon my mind. Who is that Shatakshi? That's Shiva, Bhagavati Devi. Who is she? Why is she called Shatakshi? Shatakshi means with 100 eyes. Listening to what you have been telling me, O Holy One, my birth has come to fulfillment. What is there again in life anymore? To listen to the glories of this divine Shakti energy. What again is there? Nothing means anything again. Nothing has any value again anymore. And devotees, it's good to notice that the divine ones, when they get the taste of this bhakti ras, nothing again make any sense to them. They don't want anything again otherwise. No cravings again otherwise. They crave for only one thing. More katha, more bhakti, more kirtan, more bhajan. Yeah? Not for any external, other cause, because we can't do all these things for superficial causes. Genuine devotion inside how they feel. It nourishes them. So he said, please, could you tell me further about this Katha of Shatakshi? Who is Shatakshi? Explain everything to me in detail. So I won't transcribe every single thing, devotee, we won't have time for that. The gist is that he wanted to know who was Shatakshi. Vyasji Uvach. Shinnu Rajam Pravakshami, Shatakshi Sambhavam Shubham, Tava Vacham Namih Kinchit, Devi Bhaktasya Vidyate, Durgam Akyu Mahadaityaha, Purvam Parmadarunah, Hiranyakshan Vaye Jatu, Ruru Putru Mahakhalaha, Devanang tu Balam Vedu, Nashitasya Sura Api, Nang Yakshantyeva, Nasandehu, Vidheyam Tavadevatat, Vimnischaita Tapaschaya, Gata Kartung Himalayai, Brahmanang Manasadhyatva, Vayu Bhaksho, Vyathishtitaha, Saharsha Barsh Paryantam, Chakara Paramam Tapaha, Tejasatasya Lokastu, Sangtapta Surasuraha, Tataha Prasannu Mahavanham, Hansar Arudha Chaturmukha, Yayautasmai Varangdatum, Prasanamukha Pankaja, Samadhistam Militaksham, Sputam Maha Chaturmukha, Varam Varai Bhadrangte, Yasate Manasa Vartate. Devotees, Sri Vedvyas is saying, let me explain to you about Shatakshi. Listen carefully. Now, that's just a way of saying it. The sage would Rajas and Mishai would always listen carefully. And devotees, you don't listen with your ears only, You have to listen with your mind. Sravan, Manan, Kirtan. You could hear words but nothing sing. The ears happen to be just the instrument, catchment area, down to the heart. This is where you see, you take in things and you assimilate as you hear. This is the power of listening. That is tapasya. Now these sages would always behave like that. No straying at all. Because every single word would have some effect, some power for them. This is what Vedvyas, Raja Janmejai mentioned. Every single word has effect. Every single word. Here, Janmejai was told, listen, O king, but the right type of attitude. We know he knows what it is. There was a certain individual, days gone by, Purvakal ke samay, Durgam Namak, an individual whose name was Durgam. Now, Durgam, that was his name. Ek Mahadanav tha. He belonged to the Asuric race, the demonic race. He was the son of a very powerful warrior whose name was Ruru. Nobody can name these fellows, have we? Ruru. But devotees, we like to know lineage. And this is a very important thing that people do pay attention to. Any quack appear all of a sudden, yeah, boy, he great. Where he come from? And especially in a religious field, spiritual field. Anything come in garb and so on, yeah, he nice, we take him. Where does he come from? What is his lineage? Important points people do pay attention to and we get fooled. Here, it is stated quite categorically. Ruru, the father of Durgam, and they came from this lineage of Hiranyaksh. Now, Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakasipu, Danavis. Very powerful, very, very powerful. But Bhagwan appeared in the form of, Varaha to destroy Hiranyaksh. He appeared in the form of Narsing to destroy Hiranyakasipu. This was the lineage they come from. God always appeared to destroy them. But why? Why? Because you see, there's something in them. They say the mango do fall far from the tree. And I want to say? Right. So devotees, certain characteristics will be with them. Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakasipu, they perform plenty tapasya. Sacrifice, which have been mentioned since the yag start. No gain without pain. Yagi means sacrifice. You have to give up something to gain something. Yeah. You have to give up something. Yagya, you sacrifice things of enjoyment. You sacrifice time, finance, everything to gain something much better than that. That's what yag is all about. Not just singing, come and sing and singing kirtan, clapping and get food and go back home. That's not yag. what you do, the sacrifices you make. Now this Durgam devotees, he came from that lineage. That wasn't him. The genes, maybe. Sacrifice. He decided he wanted to get power. It's running in the blood now. Right? Like the ancestors, like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. His father, Ruru. Very, very powerful. Mahabalwan. So what he did? To gain power, devotees were the source of all power, not divinity. Turn to God. So this demon devotee, that smart, he sought out a very sacred spot, a very private spot in the Himalayan mountain. And he decided, I'm going to do tapasya, self-sacrifice. No gain without pain. Depends on what you want. The more powerful, the more difficult the objective, the more intense your sacrifice has to be. Yeah. You can't do a little bit and expect to get everything. A fella plant tree baigan plant, and he get 5 bag. I want to go cut baigan from the 3 baigan plant to full 5 bag. And he cuts in the baigan tree. That happened in Wangwes, you know. They know story. It's real. Expectation, stupidity. Any cure for that? So if you want to get 5 bag, plant more man. The intensity of sacrifice is important. Depends upon what we want to gain. Just remember that. You can't do bare minimum and expect to achieve results. Push yourself. Devotees, this was what he did. He took Vedic mantra. He went into the forest, no food. No food. Many of us not eating right now, right? Might eat after, it's okay. Depending upon health condition and so on. But you see, devotees, what we are doing, what we mentioned to people to fast and so on and so forth, that is not old talk. You're not fasting for God, you're fasting for you. Right? We can't go into details, but let me just put it simply. Why do we not eat food and so on, or eat a certain type of food when we have to do yagyas and so on? The body is made of 5 sheets, devotees. Annamay kosh, pranamay kosh, manomay kosh, vigyanmay kosh, anandamay kosh. And that is not who you are. That is the external, that is the shell. You are the indweller. So the annamay kosh is the food sheet. And I've used the example so many times when Shrek asking donkey, telling donkey, I'm like an onion. And when donkey want to know why he's smelling bad, he says, no, I have many layers. Hindu philosophy. To get to the inner core, you have to go beyond the outer layers. To tap into the inner core, I have to go beyond these outer layers. And the outer layers, the annamay kosh, food sheet. A man is a product of his thoughts. The thoughts a man has to a great extent depend upon the food he eats. Check and see what happens in society. Everybody fast food and you're dead fast. Yeah? We're going to that's another topic again. You understand, devotees? Out of laziness. Yeah? Some people say need, necessity, laziness. Right? When mama cook is the best food you could get. Well, wife too. You have to say wife too. Right? You see, devotees, with love, these things are important. The food has influence, vibration. Food has 6 faults. 6 faults. Even vegetables. The man planting the vegetable, what are you planting it for? To make money. The middleman come buy it. What are he buying it for? To sell it back to make money. You go to the market and you're haggling to get the best price because you want to save money. You follow what's going on? And then when you come and you see these other places, they cook it, you go and the chef cook the food for your man. Tasting real good. But what he cooking for? Could he get pay? And when you sit down to eat, you don't have a moment to say, God, thank you. You start to gobble along one time. You're eating all that sin, all that negative vibrations one time. It affects your thinking, affects your attitude, affects everything about us. This is not old talk in devotees. An old man saying it, but it's no old talk. Analyze and see. A man is a product of his thoughts, and the thoughts a man has to a great extent depend upon the food he eats. Nutrition is so very important in life. Yeah. So, because of that, the sages avoid salt. There are 6 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, astringent. We are accustomed to these. Some people, food tasting good, put some more salt on top. Put some more pepper on top. Asurike. Taste, 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 taste. You are controlled by your taste. And these influences, these spices and so on, have an effect on the thinking, on the attitude of man. Okay, but you want to pray. You want to focus. How could you pray with your mind jumping, going to KFC and coming back? You have to focus your mind. Mind must be that chanchal, tenacious. Therefore, we say fast. Avoid all the salt. Is a very exciting food. It excites the mind. The different spices and so on. The sweetest thing to that bhakti ras, param ras, is something sweet. That's why you say, eat sweet rice if you want. Eat fruits. The sages won't eat nothing like that. They will eat leaves from the tree and drink water. That's all they're doing. This was what this man do. So I'm putting two together. This is why we are told to fast and so on. It is in our interest. You ain't fasting for God. You could fast, you could do what you want. That doesn't interfere with God. You fast and so on, you're preparing yourself. Because if you make all these sacrifices, when I'm sit down and perform the puja, that is where, as I say, the whole elephant passes through the needle hole, but the tail will stick. The final part here, mind chanchal all about. You can't even pray. What are you doing? These practical things in life, devotees. Alright? Practical things in life. So to help us, we already know the mind is turbulent, tenacious, etc. Difficult to control. Why do I take in those things to make it even more erratic? So the sages say, fast. And when you bring this, you fast, annamaya kosh, both under control, manomaya kosh, then the mind is stabilized. Stabilized. You could focus. Less chanchal. Less like a kite docking. And what's yet? Ayo. Kite ayo and kite, kite tread. Kite ayo, right? Go on. Yeah. So devotees see all these things. It's not just old talk, as I say, Allah, this was plenty old talk. These things are for our benefit. You don't want to do it, who loses? You do it, who benefits? You answer the question? Yeah. So devotees, when you see the manomaya kosh, pranamaya kosh, the breathing, important. When you're doing puja and so on, bringing the breath under control. Breath is life. We can't go into details again there. All these things are important. Yeah? When you bring all these things under control, you're going closer and closer to the inside. Then, you're getting somewhere. You're getting somewhere. So all the physical preparations we make, what help you to go there? Some people say, empty bag can't stand up. I have to eat, otherwise I can't pray. Go eat. Fix up. Empty bag can't stand up. When a full stomach, plenty devotees. I keep saying sometimes in the intestine, 22 feet. You watch some of the devotees in the intestine looking like 30 feet long. Like it extends. Stressing it. No discipline. This is our problem. These sages, devotees, well, even the Dano, they had a different philosophy. No gain without pain. So he went in the forest, mountain top. He would stand on one foot. Devotees, every now and then, just drink some water to keep it going, right? Eat leaves. After a while, even that is stopped. If you listen to the Katha of Raja Manu, Rani Shatrupa, same thing, right? Devotees, intense sacrifice that many of us could never even think about. And so he was deeper and deeper. And devotees, after a while, not drinking anything, not eating anything, not aware of the external world. All the cows, the senses, the cow, call them cows, back into the cow pen, Sushumna Nari. I mentioned this sometime before, yogic technique. Shut out the external world totally. And all his consciousness, so to speak, focus upon that, the Brahma aspect. Brahma. Rajas, because he wanted power. Yeah? A long time passed. And when that devotion, so intense devotees, a heat emanated out of his body. All sides, even the devatas begin to strangle. When a person praying properly, you're making right sacrifices, there emanates from the body a different energy. Again, I've said this many times. I tell people, fast for 9 Fridays, come back after 7 Friday, I want to see you. They come back thinking I will give them a thing. You know what thing is? A tabijan thing now. I want to see you. If you're fasting and you're praying, I could look at you and I could tell you, yes, you're doing it right. You're not doing it, it's shown on your body. Life is like an open book. Open book. The aura around you, it becomes different when you fast and pray. Nobody could hide. Nobody could hide. You could pretend how much you want, you're exposed. This is why we should do play games. You eating, say you eating. Don't say you're fasting, and when you're looking, instead of looking shining, you're looking black. Because you're telling lies. The wrong attitudes. Devotees, we do these things to ourselves, you know. Nobody else. Now, if you do things right, this is what you do. That energy, that thought energy, transformed to heat. And on all sides, discomfort, discomfort. And this is why I've been saying many times, you can't take me heat, you get out my kitchen. You know what I mean? As we get older, you develop more, people don't understand you so much again. Here like before, you change plenty, this, that. You can't come close at all. No problem. You can't take me heat, get out of the kitchen. But this is what happens when you get stronger and stronger spiritually. Many cannot take it. They keep a distance. You don't have many friends, but who care for friends? That Lord is your friend. But you see, we look for popularity in society. Fall short. Devotees, not so. This fellow made that sacrifice, so I just put it to you. The devatas were uncomfortable. All this time he doing tapasya, devatas enjoying, you know. Dance something, enjoying themselves. And that happens in society. The devatas, things good, we eat and drink, make merry when you dead bury. The rakshas, they train in day and night. And not only one thing that, you know how? They train in all how to put us under pressure. And we eating, drinking, making merry. Not realizing to be on top is not hard. To stay on top is hard. You have to keep on doing the right things to stay on top. Which is time and again, obviously, the devatas, they fail, as you're going to hear what is happening here. This fellow, such intense tapasya, Brahma decided, the devatas went to Brahma, oh Brahma, look what is happening. What is happening? Brahma went to this Durgam, and he appeared before him, Brahma and the swan, you know, the three-headed Brahma. He said, oh Durgam, I'm pleased with you, ask a Vardhan, ask what do you want. Now this is what he was praying for, to ask for Vardhan. So his sacrifices come into a culmination. Devotees. Then Brahmaji got him out of that state. All these techniques we have to learn, you know, we don't have time to discuss how it happened. Brahma got into him and got him to get out of that state. And he saw Brahma there, he made offerings, prostrations to Brahma. Even though I said he was an asur, he used to pray, he know how to pray. Mantras, different sacrifices, okay? Brahma said, ask, I'm pleased with you. He said, in simple again, oh Pitamaha, if you please me, you grant me Vardhan, I want you to grant me the Vedic knowledge. All the Vedas. No, not the book, the Vedas, you know. Because I could give you the book, you will carry to one, put it in your house, but nothing inside your head. You understand what I'm saying? Long time when I had Yag, Baba made them, I think they still do it. Put the book in the head, beat something and walk on all about. And then bring back the book and worship it. Somebody asked me, why you don't do that? Well, my mouth, you know. I said, well, I don't want to put the book on your head and walk now. I want to put the book inside your head. We're parading all about any book outside, not inside your head. But everything is tamasha. Make a show out of everything. And we stick to that. Dunya kya hai? Ek tamasha. Char dino ki jhuti asha. Understand these bhajans of these great sages. Devotees, this fellow wanted not the book, essentially Vedas. The techniques in the Vedas, the secrets of the Vedas, the book of Hinduism that guides us through life, the root of Hinduism. And then Brahma said, that has to, yes, you please me, I'm going to give it to you. So the essence gone to his head. And he said, oh Brahmaji, I want that power to overcome all the devatas. I want to conquer the devatas. I must be all powerful. Brahma said, that has to. So devotees, in simple, he got all that Vardhan. Vedic knowledge. What is real power? Knowledge is power. That is something again many of us fail to understand. And this is what happened in this case here. This fella getting access to the Vedic knowledge, negative attitude he has, he influenced the general practice that took place at that point in time. that the holy ones themselves stop doing Havan. Why lighting fire, making smoke? No Havan. Mantra Shakti, all this, the lifestyle change totally, as is happening in our country, worldwide right now too. Anything looking easy, do it. Nice, do it twice. Do it. The principle we forgetting totally. Nothing wrong with adjusting the practice, but never compromise the principle. What is the basic principle? Basic principle, make sacrifices, prayer. I start off by saying, you fail to do that, you incur sins of omission. And all those holy ones on all sides influenced. Right? They put on their garb and think parading all about. They do no job, they do no Havan, no Vedic scripture, study, nothing at all. Right? You just identify them by the clothes they have on maybe. And devotees, when the holy ones start to behave so, what do you expect the devotees to do? Follow likewise. Yeah. Don't tell me to pray. If I tell you, you don't have to pray for 6 months. Oh, Baba, well, I'm glad, thank you. You have to pray every day, 5 times for the day. Why, Baba, so much? Check and see what happens. No? So what the leaders are, they pass on that to the followers. And devotees, generally, what will happen? These disciplines, spiritual disciplines, fell by the wayside. And when that begins to happen, then dharma declines. Nobody listens to parents, nobody listens to guru, no respect, no duty. I say, only what's inside your head, you follow that. And when these things happen, devotees just suffer the consequences. Daihik, Daivik, Bhautik Tap. We say that over and over again. The world today is suffering from Daihik, Daivik and Bhautik Tap. And all because of our karmas. Our failure to do what we are supposed to do in the way we are supposed to do it. This happened at that point in time. And devotees, how does it manifest itself? In that case, famine, drought. And I said here, for a long time, famine and drought. No water, not a drop of rain. And you will realize that many parts of the world are experiencing that right now. And certain other parts are getting so much water, they never get water before, but they can't drink it. So either way, Daivik Tap. Nobody could control that. What causes devotees? People say climate change. What making climate change? Not man's attitude, our behavior, what we're doing. Everything goes back to man. Our failure to do what we're supposed to do. And the end result is degeneration, destruction of dharma, or say degeneration of dharma. And devotees, not everybody I should say, become bad. You always have pockets of resistance to wickedness. Bear that in mind. Always have that. Some of us will stay and fight against all this kind of thing. We're not going the way of the popular way. We're going the way based upon principle. We fight against the devotees, simple. Yeah? So, but generally, this was the order of the day. Cows died, people died, animals, everywhere, vegetation dried. The earth, devotees, wherever they live there, is like a dust bowl. What to do? The devatas, they were now attacked by Durgam. With his powerful weapons, they had to run away and into hiding. They didn't have the capacity to deal with him. And so, devotees, how long will this continue for? We all know trouble. What we do then? What do we do then? What we should have been doing all along. The devatas and some of the holy ones who didn't become a victim to all this, they decide to appeal. Who could help us? Who? Mata, the divine, Devi. Devi devotees. So they civilize themselves in hidden places in the mountain, and they consecrated the fire and with the havan and so on, and devotees collectively, they turn towards that Mata. And I'm saying all of us should be doing likewise right now. I'm going to do it in a simple way. If you understand the meaning of the bhajan, devotees, we pray to, for ourselves, for society, for the world at large. Jaya Bhagavati Devi Namo Varade. Jaya Bhagavati Devi Namo Varade. जय पाप विनाशनी बहुफल दे। जय पाप विनाशनी बहुफल दे। जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय शुंभ निशुंभ कपालधारे। जय शुंभ निशुंभ कपालधारे। प्रणमामि तु देवी नरतिहरे। प्रणमामि तु देवी नरतिहरे। जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय जग की रखवाली करने वाली जगदम्बे मैया। महिमा तुम्हारी है निराली ओ जगदम्बे मैया। जग की रखवाली करने वाली जगदम्बे मैया। तेरे दया से जीते हैं मैया। तेरे भरोसे चलती है मैया। तेरे भरोसे चलती है मैया। सबके घर घर में है दीवाली जगदम्बे मैया। दुखियों के घर में सुख बरसा दे। अंधियारी घर में दिया जला दे। अंधियारी घर में दिया जला दे। सबके मिटा दे रातें खाली जगदम्बे मैया। चरणों में बैठे आश लगाए, विनती हमारी खाली न जाए। चरणों में बैठे आश लगाए, विनती हमारी खाली न जाए। बिना devotee sincere, genuine, of course. And they said, Devi pleased. That Devi, she appeared. The very same Devi that Raja Harishchandra worshipped. The same Devi all of us worship. Different forms, of course. Devi appeared. And the problem was water. No fertility in the soil, nothing growing, nothing. Poverty, starvation, drought, famine. What to do? Devi appeared. Oh Devatas, the Devatas cried their distress. So we wouldn't use time to. We know what they would say. Ma, this is our situation. We need help. We need help. Very repentant at heart for having fallen short. But, returning towards that one divine. I know devotees, when this happens, it reminds me. Ek nadiya ek nar kahave, मैं लोही नीर भरो, जब दो मिलकर एक बरन भयो, सुरसरी नाम पर यो. There is a river we call Surasari, Ganga. And into this Ganga flow, many tributaries with all kind of impurities. But when the impure water reaches into the Ganga, no differentiation, all become Gangajal. We are like that, those tributaries of impurities. You make the effort, and once you reach the Ganga, that is the divine. What happens, devotees? There's no difference. We are transformed. That sincerity of prayer brings about a change for us. This is the power of prayer. Devotees, Mata was very pleased. And this is mother feelings here now. This is divine mother. Mothers, our earthly mothers, biological mothers, they have such love, for us as children. They can give their lives for us. What about the divine mother? Devotees, in society many times mothers may not have the wherewithal to take care of their children. One thing they have in abundance is love. And that love manifests itself many times in the form of tears. They cry. Mata appeared, devotees, and she began to cry. When you're crying, what coming out? Not tears, water. It said for 9 days and 9 nights Devi cried. So you can imagine, she the creator of water, everything. That water flowed on all sides, on all sides. And devotees, you can see at the end of that, rivers, ponds, that area, everything, water was there. Fertility came back to the soil. But they're still hungry. Right? Water there. When you're going to plant and when you're going to reap and when you're going to eat. So Devata was watching Mata. Ma, everybody's starving. Fertility is back into the soil, there's water and everything, but then Mata, it is said, in the final grace, everything she creates, she gave to them. Created it. Vegetables, fruits. No bakla murgi and you know what I mean, right? Vegetables, fruits. This sattvic bhojanam gave them to sustain them. And devotees, the Devatas were very pleased. They said, Ma, you shall be called Shakambhari. She the bringer of fruits, vegetable sustenance. But Mata, the problem still exists. Durgam is still there and he still has the essence of the Vedas. And devotees, to make that point, I want to tell people, almost try to learn all the scriptures, understand it. Don't just read it now. You could read, no problem, but you have to get the essence. How do you get the essence of scriptures? Not by reading, by living the practices. There are many who could regurgitate, download from the internet and talk a whole set for a long time. No anubhav. No anubhav. Who write those books in the first place? Not a man who lived the life. Is there something to say that we're not living the life in today's world? That we can't do that? No. Then we don't go into that kind of line, devotees. Right? But some of us, we alone know, and that will go to the sacrifice we make. The world wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know that. You don't have to know that. But I am telling you to live the life, the essence you get. People may think otherwise, say anything otherwise, you know. You have to leave them. It is different. Sometime to come, they will get there. But devotees, if you don't know your scriptures, you're badly confused. And Panatumesh mentioned previously, Shruti and Smriti. Yes. Shruti and Smriti. Shruti, that which is heard. Paravani. Pashyanti yang yogino. I use in the terms, in my head I know what I'm talking. But Smriti is what you remember now. And devotee, ya Manusmriti. All different kind of Smriti. You know what Manusmriti say? I mentioned this already to people. A girl should get married to a man 2.5 times her age. So Sita Mata was 6, Sri Ram was 15. Yeah? So 3 years, girl getting married, 25, 30 years. So when you see 30 years, 2.5 your age could be how much? About 70. Get a man about 70 years and marry him. Yeah? When you're dead, you get your house. Yeah. Could you follow Manusmriti now? Manusmriti said, and my song is off on them, but don't defecate in water. All know what I mean? Somebody tell me, say, the toilets we have now, water. Manusmriti say, you can't use that. So, all you know how wrong thing all you're doing. But I'll tell you, person, say, hey, this book was written for way back in the past. The main water course was the river. Village pond, they have water running in their house. So then they tell you, don't do these things in the water because people are using this water for all purposes. You don't make the water impure. That is what they mean. Right? But you see, they take that there and when they bring it to today's world and say, look, the book says so. This is why Panatumesh rightly mentioned, the Smriti, you could change it. Shruti, you can't change that. Can't change that. See? So devotees, this is why I say we need to know our scriptures. We need to know our scriptures. Read, this is why the sages say, I'm started by saying, read scripture on a daily basis. You have plenty English book. Gita in English, Ramayana in English. Plenty Baba within the English book too. So what are you worried about? Do it. Alright? But importantly, remember, as they said, once you translate from one language into another, there is interpretation. And this is where the problem comes in. If you look in some of our scriptures, you could see definite signs of interference in our scriptures. Certain practices are alien to Hindu culture. But in the book, to be honest, when I read it, I do read that part. It's alien to Hindu culture. I wouldn't see more than that. If you don't know your book, you're in trouble. So devotees, this is why the sages were saying, Ma, get back the Vedas from that demon. Because once he has access to the Vedas, this will continue to degenerate. Devotees, Devi said yes, and so she challenged Durgam for a battle. And Durgam very brave, you know, devotees. Very, very powerful. He come with the whole army. A lady had to fight with, a lady, but she could fight. Devotee, the whole lady could fight. Yeah. So when you see the battle started and so on, let me put it, you know, to just wrap it up. Devotees, Devi out of her body emanated different Devis. Yeah? So I can tell you here, what is said here. Kalika Tarni Bala Tripura Bhairivi Rama Bhagala Chaiva Matangi Tatha Tripura Sundari Kamakshi, Tulaja Devi, Jambhini, Mohini Tatha, Chinnamasta, Guhya Kali, Dasahasya Bahuka. Devotees, out of the body of Devi, all these Devis appeared. Devi herself, all the different forms of energy. Kalika, Tarini, Shodashi Devi, Tripura, we have the Das Mahavidya. Yeah. Bhairavi, Kamala, Bagala, Matangi, Tripura, Tripura Sundari, Kamakshi Devi, Tulaja Devi, Jambhini Devi, Mohini Devi, Chinnamasta Devi, all these different aspects, different energies. Because to destroy that demonic force, energy you have to take. And devotees, nothing is beyond matter. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And they said Devi destroyed him. Destroyed his army and destroyed him. She withdrew the Vedas from him. Shrink his head now, take away all that knowledge. Sometimes people say, so when I get dotish, Devi must pull out the knowledge from them. These things could happen. Yeah, you get shrap. Forget what you know. You lose it. And it's not Alzheimer's. Shrap. Not doing the right things, playing games, these things could happen to you. Don't play with energy. Energy, like electricity, provides all the comfort. Wrong connection, burn down everything. This Devi. So devotees, Devi Ma destroyed the demons and she retrieved the Vedas. And then the Devatas were very overjoyed. And they praised Mata. They say, Ma, you shall be called Durga because you defeated Durgam. So notice his Stota started with all these names of Durga. Durga means inaccessible. Inaccessible for those who are not on the right pathway. Yeah? You brought fruits and vegetables, you shall be called Shakambhari. You cried as if you have 100 eyes, you shall be called Shatakshi. All these are names that you carry, O Mata, prostrations to you. And so devotees, the Devatas praise Mata to their heart's delight. Their distress is removed. And I want to say this, that if situations arise in life, we worship Devi in this kind of way, individually, for sure, help could come if I pray the right way. Because I could pray, but I can't make you pray the same way. You have to decide. But if all of us could collectively pray with the right attitude, like those Devatas prayed, we can achieve magic. I don't call it magic, miracle. The power of Mata. Nothing is impossible. So, for a start in your own lives. Nothing is impossible with Mata. And devotees, I don't want to go to testimony, but I could testify to that plenty times. The power of Mata, Devi. Now when I'm saying Devi, don't feel that Shiva is powerful. Shiva is the substratum. Devi is the energy emanating. You have Kali, Bhagwan Shankar lying in the ground, Kali Ma standing on top of him. That is symbolic. Shiva is the substratum. Undifferentiated, non-differentiated Brahm. And Kali is the energy that makes things happen. It is the energy. We live in the world of energy, and everything is subjected to that energy. So this is why they say you must pray to Devi. Pray to Devi, we'll go to Shiva, of course. So devotees, the Devatas glorified Ma, and while we make preparations for the final Havan, let's glorify Devi, and then we'll go on to the Havan and conclusion for tonight. The names of Devi, devotees, Shankari, Parmeshwari, Shashishekari, Amba. All the different names of Devi. Each name has a power. So you have to learn everything, the power and so on. Chant it, and it works. Shankari, Parameshwari, Shashishekari, Amba, Sarveshwari, Jagadishwari, Maheshwari, Amba, Sundari, Gunamanjari, Shiva Shankari, Amba. Shankari, Parameshwari, Shashishekari, Amba. Amba Shankari, Parameshwari, Shashishekari, Amba. जगदीश्वरी माहेश्वरी अम्बा। सर्वेश्वरी जगदीश्वरी माहेश्वरी अम्बा। सुंदरी गुणमंजरी शिवशंकरी अम्बा। अम्बा सुंदरी गुणमंजरी शिवशंकरी अम्बा। माहेश्वरी श्वेतांबरी भुवनेश्वरी अम्बा। मातेश्वरी शाकंभरी भुवनेश्वरी अम्बा। शंकरी परमेश्वरी शशि शेखरी अम्बा। सर्वेश्वरी जगदीश्वरी माहेश्वरी अम्बा। जगदीश्वरी माहेश्वरी अम्बा। सुंदरी गुणमंजरी शिवशंकरी अम्बा। अम्बा सुंदरी गुणमंजरी शिवशंकरी अम्बा। शिवशंकरी अम्बा। भुवनेश्वरी अम्बा। परमेश्वरी अम्बा। जगदीश्वरी अम्बा। अम्बा सुंदरी गुणमंजरी अम्बा सुंदरी गुणमंजरी शिवशंकरी अम्बा। मातेश्वरी श्वेतांबरी भुवनेश्वरी अम्बा। मातेश्वरी शाकंभरी भुवनेश्वरी अम्बा। अम्बा शंकरी परमेश्वरी शशि शेखरी अम्बा। अम्बा शंकरी परमेश्वरी शशि शेखरी अम्बा। बोले सियार शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की। ओम गंगनपतये नमः स्वाहा, श्री गौरी माता स्वाहा, श्री पृथ्वी माता स्वाहा, पंचलोकपाल देवाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा, नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, श्री सूर्यारि नवग्रह देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री ब्रह्मगिन देवाय नमः स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चंडिकायै नमः स्वाहा, ओम क्रीं कालियै नमः स्वाहा, महालक्ष्मी माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वत्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री ईश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री परमेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री शीतला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री महाअन्नपूर्णा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मंगला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री चंदी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मनसा देवी स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं षष्ठी देव्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री तारा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री षोडशी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भुवनेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री छिन्नमस्ता देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भैरवी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री धूमावती देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री बगलामुखी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मातंगी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री कमला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री ऐन्द्री देवी स्वाहा, सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, श्री हनुमते नमः स्वाहा, सीतारामचंद्राभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, राधा कृष्णाय नमः स्वाहा, इष्टदेवाय स्वाहा, कुलदेवाय स्वाहा, अष्टान देवाय स्वाहा, ग्राम देवाय स्वाहा, इतर कर्म प्रधान देवाय स्वाहा, 5 times again, वास्तु देवाय स्वाहा, 33 करोड़ देवताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, अनंत स्वरूपाय ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री गुरुवे नमः स्वाहा. Wash your hands and do Achman. Om Sarva Papaharam Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanam Chamaya Dattam Grahitam Purushotamaha Brahmagnaye Namaha Achmanam Samarpayami. Bole Sri Adi Shakti Jagadamba Mata Ki. Please all stand, devotees. We do our arti. Dani, Didi on this side here. Purnahuti. Om concentrate on Shiv Shakti. ओम जयंती मंगलाकारी भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते. जय त्वं देवी चामुंडे जय भूतार्ति हारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते. ओम नमः शंभवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च शिवाय च शिवतराय च ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम पूर्णमिदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णम् उदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णागवम स्वाहा. अच्छा, do Achman again. सर्व पापहरं दिव्यं गांगेयं निर्मलं जलम आचमनं च मया दत्तं गृहीतां पुरुषोत्तमः ब्रह्मज्ञये नमः. Bow. Question devotee, we join Aarti, Devi Aarti. Jai Ambe Gauri Maya. Om Sajang Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahin Yojitam Maya Deepam Griham Devese Trailokhyati Nirapaham Deepam Samarpayami. जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया. जय मंगल मूर्ति मैया जय आनंद करनी तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्म शिव जी. मांग सिंदूर विराजत तीखो मृग मद को उज्ज्वल से दुगु नैना चंद्र बदननी को. कनक समान कलेवर रक्तांबर राजय रक्त पुष्प गलमाला कंचन पर साजय के हरि वाहन राजत खर्ग खपर धारी सुर नर मुनि जन सेवत तिनके दुख हरी कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मूर्ति कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर समराजत ज्योति शुंभ निशुंभ विदारे महिषासुर घाती धूम्र विलोचन नैना निश दिन मदमती चंद मुंद संहारे शोणित बीज हरे मधु कैत भदु मारे सुर भय ही न करे ब्रह्मानी रुद्रानी तुम कमल रानी आगम निगम बखानी तुम शिव शिव प्राणी चौसत योगिनी कहावत नृत्य करत भैरू बाजत ताल मृदंगा और बाजत डमरू हो जग की माता तुम ही हो भरता भक्तन की दुख हरता सुख संपत्ति करता भुजाचारी अति शोभित वर मुद्राधारी मन वांछित फल पावत सेवत नर नारी कंचन थाल विराजत अगर कपूर बाटी श्रीमाल के तुम राजत कोटि रतन ज्योति श्री अम्बे जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी सुख संपत्ति पावे बोलो श्री सीताराम 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 जय सीताराम बोलो श्री राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम बोलो श्री सीताराम जय राधे श्याम सीताराम जय राधे श्याम बोलो सीताराम जय सीताराम बोलो राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम बोलो सीताराम जय राधे श्याम शिव हरे शिव राम सखे प्रभु त्रिविध ताप निवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरम् शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरम् प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय तनोहरिः ॐ आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वरी ॐ गच्छ सुरश्रेष्ठ स्वस्थाने परमेश्वर यत् ब्रह्मादयो देवास्तत्र गच्छुतासन ॐ लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजय येषामिन्दि वर्षां हृदयस्तु जनार्दन ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं परमेश्वरी यत्पूजितं मया देवी परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ गच्छ त्वं भगवन् अग्नि स्वस्थाने कुन्दमध्यतः हुतम् आदाय देवेभ्यः शीघ्र देहि प्रसीद मे ब्रह्म अग्नये नमः ॐ त्वमेव माता च पितः त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय आदिशक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय उदय शाह जगन्नाथ की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की शुभमस्तु blessings to all kindly be seated devotees
Sitaram. As we conclude the third night of our Devi Yagya, we wish to express sincere gratitude to you, Guruji, for performing Bedi Puja and for delivering yet another enlightening discourse. Your continuous guidance and teachings are deeply appreciated. A heartfelt thanks goes out to each and every one of you, the devotees, who made the effort to join with us in devotion. It is always a pleasure to have you. Special thanks to Uncle Danny and Avinash, who sat for puja this evening. We also recognize the online presence of our live stream viewers and those on IETV who have chosen to join together with us tonight. And lastly, refreshments have been prepared and can be collected along with prasad at the front. Do have a safe journey back home, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Shivrani. Blessings to you. And devotees, let me, on behalf of all of us, express a very happy birthday to Danny. Today is Danny's, I can say bye, 66th birthday. So a round of applause for him. He looks quite good for a young man, 66 years. So Danny, you have done the right thing by sitting together with us, performing puja. I keep saying that, you know, that Lord is like the spring, we are like the river. Attached. That river attached to the spring never runs dry. But the river that depends on rain, when famine comes, drought comes, you know, runs dry. So attach yourself to God. This is wonderful. And the entire family has been doing that, right? I mean, from years now. And I want to commend you all for it. And I want to commend the young man, well, the next young man, right? Avinash, for sitting together with you. Hardly ever do we see a father and son sitting down, you know, I mentioned this already. You might find mother and daughter sitting down, but I don't know why father and son can't sit down. You might find mother and son sitting down, but this is good. And don't mind Avinash keeping a little distance away from me, I don't know why. Maybe just tired. But it's wonderful to see this example, father and son together. It's beautiful. And this is the kind of example we need. So to the entire family, the Manohar family, keep it going. Blessings to all of you. Understand Nevi is not well. May she recover to come in time for the Yagya. As also that, you know, our Panat Umesh is also under the weather, so we hope at some point perhaps he can reach that point where you can come back and join us. But God knows we have no control over that. Okay? So happy birthday, Danny. Enjoy the rest of your birthday. We didn't make any cake and things. So, right? Take your prasad, stand up and we keep saying those two magical words. Sit down. So devotees, as you have heard from Shivrani, receive your prasadam and refreshments and do have a safe journey back home. And we look forward to seeing you again. Remember, Yagya continues until Sunday. And to just inform you, Sunday we start at 3 o'clock. Sunday, the final session. Sunday is Durga Ashtami. And Sunday we will have devotees performing Durga Puja if you would like to. The Puja day is on Sunday. And Kanya Puja will also be done on Sunday. So prepare yourselves, okay? Blessings.